Blade Runner 2049 and the crisis of female empowerment. Now, the original movie Blade Runner was based on a book called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And this is a great book. In the movie was an attempt to copy that book or visualize that book. I think Ridley Scott did the first movie. Now, this movie, Blade Runner 2049, is based on the movie Blade Runner, not the book, the movie Blade Runner. So it is completely contrived. And it is contrived as a piece of female empowerment or feminism propaganda, if you will. It promotes the agenda of female empowerment. This is one of the female characters in the movie that promotes the idea of female power. She, Robin Wright, acts like a man. She wears her hair like a man. She pours whiskey like alcohol like a man. And she plays a part of basically a dominatrix. In the movie, she is called Madam. And a madam is what? The head of a brothel. But this madam, Robin Wright Penn, is running a Department of Men, Department of LAPD. She's running males, and her male that she concentrates on in the movie is Ryan Gosling. Now, Ryan plays a replicant. He's not human. He is a new model of a replicant that hunts down other replicants. So here we have Robin Wright Penn acting like a man.
So what do you have for me? And don't say nothing.
What do you have for me? And don't say nothing. What do you have for me? And she gets more aggressive here.
Then what's this? What's that date? Is that a birthday? Is that a death day?
I don't know yet.
See, this goes along with the idea of a female being aggressive. In order to have your female power, you have to act like a man. You have to be a man. You have to wear your hair like a man. You have to be aggressive. You have to have male qualities. Here she goes some more.
I don't know yet.
Now this line
Am
is
I the only one that can see the fucking sunrise here? This breaks the world, Kay.
This line is very interesting. Am I the only one that can see the sunrise here?
Sunrise here?
Am I the only one that can see the sunrise here? Now, she is saying the premise is, just the basic premise is, I'm smarter than you, you're dumb, I can see something you can't. Now, the overlay is the second layer is, I'm a female and I know what's going on. You are a male and you don't. I'm a female, I know what's going on. You're a male and you don't. Now, there's another layer to this, though. I know I can see the sun rising and you can't. The first people who ever recognized the sun rising created a cult around it, a religion around it, a worshiping around it, and they were all male. They created a religion around the sun rising, and females were not allowed in that practice. They were not allowed in that club. So now she's saying, am I the only one who sees the sun rising? Am I, as a female, now I am taking over your cult worship. I am taking over your priesthood that's all male, and I am seeing everything that you cannot see. So that line is pretty deep.
This breaks the world, Kate.
And of course, when she does that, it breaks the world, because the world is what? Male dominated. So now that she is enlightened, now that she can see the light, now that she sees the dawn, now that she sees everything these males had seen, it breaks the world of male domination. Here she just slugs down some alcohol in a very male fashion. Now this is the dominatrix scene played out to an extreme, because she's sitting here with a drink, casually questioning him. He looks down in submission. He cannot look, he has to look forward, not at her. He's looking forward, and he has his hands crossed, practically tied, so they cannot move. And she can ask him her questions.
You know, I've known a lot of your kind.
I've known a lot of your kind. Now see, the premise is, I'm human, you're an android. I've known a lot of your kind. But the subtext is, I am a female, you're a male, I've known a lot of your kind male. Because all you guys are the same. I can just sum you up, and you're all the same, and I've known a lot of your kind.
All useful, but
You're all useful, but in other words, you're useful to me when you're doing what I want you to do.
with you I sometimes forget. We didn't have any of you where I was a kid. Do you remember anything
This is where she asks him if he remembers anything.
before you were under me? You have any memories from
Before you were under me, do you remember anything from before you were under me? Meaning now, I'm dominant, I'm a female, I'm on top. And what do you remember? Do you remember anything before you were under me? Do you remember anything before you were under me?
thing? Before you were under me, you have any memories from before?
Do you have any memories from before?
I have memories, but they're not real. It's just implants.
I have memories, but they're not real. Now, the pretense, the setup here is the context is, I'm a robot. All my memories are created. They're not real. But the subtext is, my male memories are not real. Everything I remember, the male-dominated world being male domination, males taking control, males going out and doing things, males getting all that's a false memory. All my ideas of toxic masculinity are false, because they're based on toxic masculinity and they can't be real. So all my memories are false. All my memories as a man, of what I think of myself as a man, are false. They are implants. They're not real.
Tell me when. Would it help you share if I told you it was an order?
Would it help you share if I told you it was an order? Once again, the dominatrix ordering her male subject around. The next female idea, the female empowerment idea, the feminist idea that's being promoted in the movie is Ryan's girlfriend, the love of his life. Now, Ryan plays a replicant. He's not real, so his girlfriend is not real. That's the premise of her existence. But what it's actually saying is that men, your idea of women is false. You have a idealized idea of women that is not true. It's a holograph. Now in this scene, his holograph finds him a real woman because she wants to feel him. And she's going to feel him through the woman that she secures, which happens to be a whore. So you have the holograph and you have the whore. So the female idea here is men see women as either something completely fake or a whore. So what we see is she combines with the whore. See this to make the perfect woman for a male. His perfect idealized woman right here combined with a whore. That's how men see her. And notice that he's here looking at her, a man looking at her. Now, in the love scene, it's very interesting because she never actually gets naked. They never show her naked. So when he is involved in a love scene, they never show her naked. She takes her clothes off here, but this is as far as they go with it. And they never show them making love or having sex. So, once again, when he's around, she can't be naked because he's around and he could have his say or he could have some kind of control. But later on in the movie, they show her naked as a giantess, as somebody who is bigger than him, as somebody he cannot control because she is so huge. She is so big, so giant that the little man has no chance of controlling her, and that's when she can show herself naked. This once again goes with an idea of female domination over the little man. What a day, huh? She's basically saying, oh, you had a rough day out there in your manly world, didn't you? You look lonely. Look at how big she is. You little man, you must be lonely without me. Your life must be empty without me. A woman, a female. And then she says, I can fix that. Back here, he was not allowed to see her naked. The viewer was not allowed to see her naked. But here, the viewer is allowed to see her naked as a giantess where she is in control and she can fix his problems through sex. You look like a good Joe. What is Joe? Joe is an average Joe. The premise is that they gave him a human name of Joe. Isn't that funny? You need a human name, and we're going to call you Joe, male, because you're just an average Joe. You're a nothing. You're a nobody. You're just average. There's nothing special about you, Mr. Male. You look like a good average Joe. Female empowerment. Now, the next scene, it has the main replicant in it that's female. This is her right here. She's also a replicant, and she's a female, and she's fighting against Ryan here, and she is going to beat him. She is going to stab him. She's going to pick a weapon of choice, being a knife. Why does she pick a knife? Because it's a phallic symbol. She is going to stab him with his own phallus, with his own phallic symbol. She's gonna stab him. Here she goes. Out comes the phallus. Stabs him with it. And then she forcefully kisses him. So now that she's put the phallus in him, she takes him and forcefully kisses him and tells him, I'm the best one. I'm the best one. I'm superior to you. The pretext, the premise is, I just beat you in a fight. I just beat you in a fight. I'm superior to you in a physical sense in a fight. But she's saying from a feminist standpoint, as a female, I'm the best one. I'm the best one. I'm number one. I am the best one. Not you, male. Not you, Ryan Gosling, but me. Now, besides the whore, there's another human character in the movie that is female, and she is presented behind glass where nobody can touch her. She's in her own beautiful world here with no men around, nothing bothering her, everything's great. And then the man comes in, and of course, he can't touch her. He can't get near her. Why? Because she has an immune problem. There's some sort of immune problem. Now, that's the premise. But what does it mean, her immune problem? How could he infect her? He is an android. He has no disease. He doesn't carry germs. How could he infect her? He couldn't. So this is a separation between male and female with this glass in between them. This is the separation. Now, on the next level, what could any man infect her with? His sperm, his semen. This is where we get to the crisis with the feminism, the crisis with the female empowerment. And that is that women are not finding men that are good enough for them. Women are not finding men that can break this glass to get to them. Women are not finding men that they think are good enough because she's the best one. Men see women as whores and fantasies. To be successful in this world, you have to be a powerful female and act like a man. And it all comes down to, you don't get to touch the woman. You cannot procreate with her. Now, this is exemplified in the movie with this scene here.
An angel should never enter the kingdom of heaven without a gift.
Once again, here's the replicant woman, and she is talking to the guy who's the head of the android production. This is showing you where the crisis in female empowerment leads right here.
Can you at least pronounce the child is born?
Can you at least pronounce the child is born? He's presenting a new model of replicant. He is trying to create a replicant that can reproduce so he doesn't have to keep making replicants. So he asks her, can you at least pronounce a child is born? And watch what she does. No, I can't. Because she can't have a child. She's a replicant. That's the premise. She's a replicant. But what they're telling you is, you as a woman, as the best one, can't have a child with these men. You're too good for them. You're way above them. They're under you. You can't have a child with them. They're not even worth your time. This is the crisis.
New model.
Here's where he says the new model, meaning the new replicant he's created.
A
And so now he's going to take a look at the new replicant that he created for reproduction. Now he holds this in his hand. This is once again a phallic symbol, but notice how small it is. Notice that her phallic symbol was much bigger. She had a much bigger phallic symbol back here. Look at that. Look at how big it is compared to his. Just tiny, thin, small. So there you have it.
But I can only make so many. Empty and salted.
Empty and unsalted. What is the salt of the earth? The people. People are the salt of the earth. So her womb is empty. She cannot reproduce.
Right here. A dead space between the stars.
Now they want you to hate this guy because he is basically saying she's a baby maker. That's her only position in his life, is to make babies for him. But the underlying subtext, that's the premise for the scene, the underlying subtext is that women, you can't reproduce anymore. Because only pigs like this exist. You can't reproduce anymore because you are the best one. You can't reproduce because you might get infected. You can't reproduce because these guys think of you as only objects and fantasies. That's what they're trying to tell you with this movie, women.
A dead space between the stars.
A dead space between the stars. Her womb is dead. She is dead. She cannot reproduce. And of course, the number one female in the movie cannot reproduce either. This is the crisis of feminism. This is the crisis of female empowerment right here. And it's being fed to you by people who want you to buy into it.